You almost got signed by P Diddy.
Yeah.
Did he want to take you out shopping?
He did not take me shopping. I got to turn down the TV shows, the exposure, but I was turning down being a witness, being a victim. And can you imagine being tied up legally or contractually to where you're having to be around like just abusing people, talking bad to people or mistreating people or whatever the fuck he was all doing, right? We know it got worse. I dodged a bullet, bro.
So you came out like a band, you came out like the man. I've known you as a rapper.
Okay.
How did that transition happen?
This is the True Hustle Podcast with your host, JR.
This is the True Hustle Podcast with your host, JR.
Happy birthday, my brother.
Thank you, man.
You want to tell the audience how old you are, fool?
When I say this number, brace yourself, because some people are gonna say "a la torre," or they might whistle shh. Yeah, man, 45, bro, 45, dog.
Nah.
Yeah.
Well, fuck, fool, you look young, dog.
Hey, yeah, I got a baby face.
Fuck, 45?
Yeah, 45.
I thought you turned 40 like me. All right. Tell me this, bro. After I turned 40, I feel like there's a lot of I'm having a lot of technical difficulties.
Yeah.
Did that happen to you when you turned 40?
I mean, I can't remember when it started exactly, but yeah, bro, shit gets tight,
Bro.
My wife, she booked me a massage for my birthday, man, and la señora, I andaba, and I was already beat up from this MMA class I went to. And
easy.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those. It's definitely one of those where you just start feeling like, okay, I gotta be careful there.
I was just telling JT, I've never experienced any type of pain. I've
you're
been
never
good.
sore. You're never sore.
Nah,
injured.
I've always been good. I work out a lot.
Yeah.
And for me to experience this type of back pain, has been it got me like a big ass baby. To be honest with
Question.
you, bro.
Do you do deadlifts and like deadlifts and squats?
I used to do deadlifts and squats, but I stopped.
Okay.
Do you think I should do them or I shouldn't?
Well, there's a theory. There's a theory. There's a theory that some people believe that when you don't work like deadlifts and squats, now you leave yourself susceptible to an injury, to where you're not stressing your body on your own, to where now getting out of bed, reaching, yawning a certain way, you stressed it, and now it's almost like you need to build up your spine and everything.
Well, in my defense, deadlifts get me really lightheaded.
Ah, la madre.
So no sé.
Are you breathing, bro?
That's my fucking problem, bro. That I stop. I hold my breath.
Oh, yeah.
Es una pinche maña that I just can't. I just be like,
yeah.
And then my coach is like, hey, wait, breathe. And I'm like, fuck, it's just a maña that I have.
Dude, breathing, not to get too deep, because I know we just started, but breathing is something that I'm trying to work on, trying to be more mindful of it, because it comes in handy in everything. When I've been getting into jiu-jitsu lately, and they say that one of the breathing techniques for jiu-jitsu is so that you can have oxygen and the other person is just they're hyperventilating, they don't have enough oxygen in their blood, so now they're getting a little probably lightheaded. Meanwhile, you're over here like this. A leaky tire strategy. You're just all hugging on that foot.
But it works.
Well, because so I think it's I think the gentleman that I think he's not Hoyce, Hickson. It might be Hickson Gracie. It might be Hickson who has all these books and stuff about breathing, and it's this whole philosophy. And so when he would have a match, a competition, like a fight, he would, hey, what's up, man? Come on. In the Portuguese, riling them up. Ray, hey, come on. Yeah, I'm going to kill you. You kill me, I'm kill you. And getting you all hyped up. And then it's time to go. But now he's got you on here. You talk about
puffing and puffing, and then it will just.
You talk about my mom. Allegedly, right?
I think jiu-jitsu, that gives you a different type of discipline, right? And there's a lot of benefits from it.
Yeah.
What do you think is one of the main things that you're like, fuck, after I started doing that, this changed?
Well, a lot of things, bro. I mean, number one, it'll humble you. It'll put your ego in check. But also, I like to apply it to life. because there's going to be things like leverage. You know, sometimes in life you're put in a situation where you might have to just survive to the end of the round, and you're just trying to like, you know, preserve your energy, get to your side, wiggle, free your leg up, make a little bit of space. You know, like, you know, in business, you know, it's probably like, all right, the market's doing this, interest rates are that, buyer's market here. All right, I need to just pivot and get an angle. So like angles, leverage, defense. You know, an example of like 2-on-1. Sometimes you got to use 2 of your limbs against one of theirs, or your entire body, like an arm bar. You're using your entire body up against one joint. And so for example, if my wife, if she has like a pop-up for her boutique or an event, sometimes I might have to put my stuff to the side because I'm thinking 2-on-1. Like, all right, we're both going to make sure this is a success, and then I'll go back to.
Damn, that's what's up.
And marijuana también, that helps.
It relaxes you, fool.
yeah.
Well, I don't think I could do any type of marijuana or any type of edibles. I'll be fucking stuck, like fucking looking at this mic, like.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. You don't mess with it.
Nah, I don't think
you're
so.
sharp. You're focusing.
I prefer.
So what's with that Elon Musk right there?
Because it's see, that's funny.
To
He's
throw
the
me
only
off.
one, 68 episodes, and you're the only one that brought it up. This is an iconic moment.
Yeah.
So people be like, oh, you be smoking weed. I'm like, no, I don't. I mean, there's nothing against people that do, but for me, I can't function.
Yeah.
But it's just an iconic moment.
Yeah.
At the Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I don't think I could do that, bro. I don't think I could just eat some edibles and just function.
Yeah. I guess you'd have to find your dosage, you know what I mean? Depending on what it is you're trying to do. And are you like a real high-strung, like control, like anxious, like type A personality?
I think I'm more like a. Yeah,
he's like, who's interviewing who, bro?
No, I like this. No, this is
therapy
dope.
session, mamalón.
And this turns into a amino therapy session. We're gonna walk out and fucking hug each other like brothers. Hey, brother, you got this.
Yeah,
bro. I think I'm type A. I'm more like I'm naturally. I have energy, so I'm high strung.
Okay.
And I don't like to feel a little bit low.
Yeah.
I don't think it fits my personality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why I have a really hard time relaxing.
Yeah. So when you like to do, you still do the exercise stuff?
Yeah.
Like that's probably good dopamine, like good relaxation.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you probably get what you need from that.
So how do you relax?
Usually like at the end of the night, man, when I'm, done with my work, my wife and I will kick it, that's when I might partake in some herbal refreshment of some sort. Pues en vez también en la mañana.
Eloquently put.
También there might be a lunchtime herbal refreshment. Maybe post-traffic herbal pre-traffic.
But for you, it doesn't affect you like it would affect me.
Nah, it affects everybody different for sure. But even with me, bro, I have to like watch my dosage and like I'll give you an example. I perform. I'm a stand-up comedian. I'm on tour. So I was doing Zanies in Chicago.
What is that, bro?
Zanies is a comedy club.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like a drug.
Yeah, that's some new shit. But,
is it related to Xanax or fucking how? I thought it was.
Is it that shit P Diddy had at the parties?
Shit.
Yeah. So I was performing at a comedy club in Chicago, and two buddies of mine show up in the green room, and they're like, "Yo, man, bro, we got some fire. You gotta try this shit." And I'm like, man, I have a policy. Like, I'm about to go on stage. Like, it's already cut off. Like, I can't be too high right before. It's like, bro, come on. Wiz Khalifa, he kept raving about this. He's like, dude, Burner wanted to buy some off me. Burner himself. And I'm like, bro, it costs. And Burner's like, I don't pay for weed. He's like, this shit costs, And I'm like, damn, le puso crema a los tacos. I was like, bro. I was like, all right. So I was like, Elon, hit it. And I was like, damn, you're not lying, bro. He's like, man, my shit's clean, bro. I was tired of dealing with other people. And, this the shit they give to patients. And I got the shit, da-da-da-da. And he's like, see, it's cloud 9. It's none of the extra shit, none of the bad. And I'm like, damn, man, I am cloud 9 right now, bro. And then he's like, you got to try the pen, too. He's like, because I got it down to the concentrate. And it's just real quick, man, just a couple seconds, And I was like, all right. And it's like, oh shit, I am cloud 9. Like, you're not even lying. This is so cloud 9 right now. And then I went and did my first set, right? So that's about like 10, 15 minutes. I come back. The other comedian goes up. I'm killing time. It's a tiny club. It's sold out. It's crowded. So I'm like, I think I'm going to go back into the green room because, I mean, I'm like in the way. So I go back to the green room. There's like a super fat, like little joint sitting there. Like
with your name on it, fool.
Basically. And I'm just like, I'm already Cloud 9. I'm going to get Cloud 9er. You know? Because like, I'm already good. He just gave me the whole sales pitch. It's like none of the bad shit. It's all the good. So I was like, I'm going to hit this shit one more time, like Elon. One more time. I was like, and then I go back on stage. But now, it just feels different. I was just on stage. Now the lights, the people, the sounds, it was a little bit too much, too close to stage time. So, you know, and I had to kind of, like, I knew my wife was there. So she was probably like, oh, boy.
Did you lock eyes with her? Like, I'm fucked up.
I was like, sorry. I said
some
Chingo Bling. I said some random shit. The crowd had no idea what I was talking about. I was like, no, I went back to the green room right now. And yeah, so, and then I caught my groove.
All right. So now that you brought up comedy,
yeah,
I've known you as a rapper.
Okay.
How did that transition happen?
Yeah. Okay. So, obviously I had already done like a lot of comedic rap, and I had already been on the DVD with Baby Bash being the comic relief. And I was always used to that being my role. Like you have all these thugs, hardcore gangsters. Hey man, you need a skit? Let me do the funny skit. That way, in between all the shoot 'em up records, there's something funny. So I already knew that was like my strength or my angle, my role. And it got to a point in my music career where I was just getting real burnt out. Where I was like, man, it's just played out, bro. Like it's
like
just
the whole rap scene?
Everything, yeah. Like it just started feeling real janky, like spinning wheels. Like you're not really advancing, getting to where you really wanted to be. So it's kind of like, man, I gotta switch something up because it just feels like, you know, there's a bunch of dudes at the show. Like it's not really maybe as fun as it could be because the way things are structured. Too many openers, and I don't really have control over that. And I was just in a situation where I felt like damn, I really want to retake control of my career and the product and the experience, and not just be a hired gun that flies in. It's like, all right, what we got? Damn, that's the flyer right there. Oh shit, who made that? You know what I mean? And you're just kind of like, you put your brand in someone else's hands in that market, because at the time there wasn't really Facebook, and you know, it was harder to market everywhere at once. So you relied on local promoters. So I decided to kind of take a step back, focus more on my merch hustle, and I was kind of getting into acting. I was in the Philly Brown movie, and that's what like Gina Rodriguez, Edward James Olmos. And so I even lived in LA for a year after that movie.
Right.
After that movie went to theaters. I was in the Valley for 6 months, and then East Los for 6 months. Then I called it quits and went back home and shit.
You missed it?
Yeah, I mean, I had a daughter.
Okay.
She was like 4 or 5, and I was like, okay, I already knew. I was like, I'm coming over here to just hustle for a year, see what I can kind of get going in the acting realm.
That makes sense.
Be close to the action. I'm in a film that's in theater, so like take meetings and acting classes and all that. So now that was the perfect opportunity to as I'm home, like, all right, let's pick up a new skill. Let's try something else. I had always wanted to do stand up. Juan Villarreal is a veteran comedian from Houston, and I went to meet up with him at one of his shows. So I'm just a kid, like, this is the first time I met him. Sorry. Okay. So the time I met Juan Villarreal was before I did the music. Because I already wanted to do comedy.
So and that was already like in the back burner.
Yeah, since I was a kid. Since I was a kid, yeah. And but my music stuff started to get some traction, so I was like, sorry, Juan, I don't have time to learn the ropes right now. I'm gonna go finish pursuing this. So then fast forward. I live in LA for a year. I'm starting to do some of the movie stuff. Go back home. Now I was gonna dive in a little bit more serious into stand up. So I just made 10 years. My 10-year anniversary was like about a week ago.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah.
Damn, full triple OG 10 years?
Yeah, 10 years doing stand-up. So I was on stage in Detroit, Michigan, and celebrated my 10 years.
That's what's up. Congratulations,
Thank you. So yeah, that's the long story short, man. I just was having to learn. I was having to be a white belt beginner at stand-up in front of people who already knew who I was. So it's kind of like, hey, we got special guests, man. Y'all ready for y'all next comedian? Man, we got a guest, man. Chingo Bling, man. Chingo Bling, the musician, the rapper guy. He's going to 10 minutes. And then I'd go up there and fucking try and fail and learn. And
how hard was it your first time?
I mean, very, because you don't have the confidence, you don't have the energy, you don't have the material, you don't have the know-how, you're just up there, you're not breathing right. You're not breathing right, so you're just up there holding your breath, like you're scared. You know, it's like adrenaline. It's like you're in a fight in a way, because you're like, why they're so quiet? They're staring at me.
And all of a sudden you forget how to breathe.
Yeah.
Like,
now you passing out.
Now you're fucking all dizzy. Like, get away.
It felt like you deadlifted.
There you go. Yeah. Fuck. That must have been like, because, I mean, you're used to crowds.
Yeah. I was used to being on stage. Yeah.
But being on stage by yourself with the spotlight?
No music, no DJ, no
quiet.
No backup dancer, no hype man.
And then the thing that you think is funny, and then you say it, and then people just staring at you?
Tienes un chiste, you got to say it right. You got to set it up.
Fool, I would fucking...
I mean, it's still, it's a never-ending learning process. So 10 years is like a cool milestone, but like I know fools been doing it 20, and you know, et cetera. So,
but I think it takes time, It takes time for you to become polished and like go from 3 minutes to 15 minutes to 20 minutes to 45 minutes.
And then
that's hard.
And then a new 45 the next year, and then a new 45 the next year, and then the new 45 the next year, and then the new 45 the next year.
Damn, fool.
Yeah, because
Triple OG. Well, he does comedy as well.
Oh, word. Hell yeah, dude. So
and I'm like, and I always give him credit because I'm like, because, somebody was like, hey, fool, you should come try it. I'm like, nah, dog. I'm not funny like you. I'm not. I'm funny in spurts.
Yeah, but some of that stuff could be taught.
You think so?
Yeah.
It's not my thing. I'll fucking stop breathing, fool, thinking I'm deadlifting, fool, and I'll fucking pass out.
I mean, you have your platform and your outlet, so you're already just kind of working on your instrument, but it's like the cousin of what you're already doing.
And I think in your situation, it worked out perfect because now you have your rap community that followed you into the stand-up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's dope, bro.
And then reaching new people and trying to cross over and trying to get like more diverse crowd. And that way you're not like, hey, you want to do Washington, D.C.? And then be like, are there Mexicans there? How many Mexicans are there? Can I pull a crowd? Instead, you want it to be like, yeah, does the club have a good emo blast? And what's our strategy? How we going to get the word out?
Let business side.
See way.
That's smart.
I mean,
it's really smart.
It really is like, I don't know what percentage of it is business, but like think about some of the really successful comics that have like been running shit for a long time. Like look at their team and what they have access to and how they operate. Like if you're doing an arena, it's like that's a lot more ticket inventory you got to move. So, you know what I mean?
And I think social media helps a lot too, huh?
Yeah, it's a powerful tool, yeah.
It's a very powerful tool if you use it correctly.
If you know what you're doing.
But it's all strategy. I think if you treat it like a business, shit will bloom.
Yeah.
So back to the rap stuff. Mm-hmm. I have a question, big dog.
Yeah.
It's a funny one.
Yeah.
You almost got signed by P Diddy.
Yeah.
Did he want to take you out shopping?
He did not take me shopping. Hey, that's always the first question now. Now that we know what he was really up to. At first it's like, damn, fool, why you turn that deal down, bro? Like, why you tell everybody no? So there was a point where like a lot of the labels were calling. And obviously he's so high profile that, especially now, that one is like, whoa, hey. Like my wife too. She'd be like, "Hey, so how did like start from the beginning?"
I want to see email thread.
Yeah.
Hey, fools, go on, fucking
all the evidence.
I'll get you all the boots.
Coming to Houston, fool. Yeah.
I'll give you all the sick ass boots you want, fool.
Yeah. Show them your boots, dog.
But now,
where's your rooster at, dog? Like what?
But now that all this shit is out,
I dodged a bullet, bro.
So you came out like a band, like fucking. You came out like the man. Man,
bro,
businessman.
You know how many people he had a contract And at the time, he had like 4 TV shows on MTV, and everybody on those shows was getting famous. Whether you're holding an umbrella for him, or you're fetching cheesecakes, or you're in the background, like a lot of the faces and characters. So obviously, to one side, it's like, bro, you're Chingo Bling. You got the cowboy hat and all this. Like, you're ready for TV. Like, you're popping now. Houston has a spotlight. If you turn down this deal, like, the window of opportunity closes, there might not be another deal after that.
That's
like pressure, you're young, exactly, dude. Like, you're young and up and coming. You're trying to get your name out, and I went to high school on the East Coast in the late '90s. So like, this is when Bad Boy Records, like, shiny suit, fucking
doing the fucking
Biggie,
whatever this fucking dance is.
Yeah. Who's hot? Who's not? You know, 112
bangers.
Throw away, like Bad Boy Records. You know, Biggie died. I was sad. Like, man, we miss you, Gordo.
Tears and shit.
Every night I pray. Had tequila. And then now you're negotiating with like your idol. And you know he's a shark because he's been in the game longer, you know, advanced. So you're trying to.
Now we know. No,
I mean, we know extracurricular shit.
That.
But just from my perspective at the time, it was like, damn, this is a life-changing thing. Like, but I want creative control, and they're not really giving that up. I want to own my masters, intellectual property. He don't even own his masters at the time. Like, his label's under another label, and he maybe one day is gonna buy up that catalog, in which now he probably owns it. But at the time, he didn't even have what I was trying to have, which is own the masters to your art.
You're smart.
So because of that ended up being the deciding factor. I was like, I got to turn down the TV shows, the exposure, but I was turning down being a witness, being a victim, getting corrupted. Like think about like such a crappy person, bro. And can you imagine being like tied up legally or contractually to where you're having to be around like just abusing people, like talking bad to people or like mistreating people or whatever the fuck he was all doing, right? We know it got worse. We saw footage and heard lawsuits.
Like, how you, I mean, okay,
but
continue.
A piece of shit person, bro. So I dodged that.
Thank God, bro.
Thank God.
Well, thank God that you saw things from the business side.
That's what
how many
saved
people would have said yes?
Probably 99%.
99%
would have been like,
look, famous?
I'm going to just do it. I'm going to figure out how I'm going to make my money. Even if he screws me over, that contract will eventually end. By then, I would have made all these connects and got a name.
But I think you probably would have, let's say you would have, you probably would have beat him up in the process, dog, on some jujitsu shit.
No, I didn't do nothing like that back then.
Like, hey, like, what the fuck you mean before you going to take me shopping?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Hurry up.
Like, what the fuck you mean? Like,
where we going?
Go get me some cheesecake, bitch. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I'll bring you 3 leches.
Pan dulce, way. That's as far as we go, dog.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Well, congrats on that, bro.
Thank you, bro.
Because that's big. Anybody else would have took it.
Yeah, I think everybody I knew at the time was like, why the fuck are you, what do you mean? Like, bro, this is it. You know?
And then you were like, fool, I'm not going to own my masters. That's major.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm not even in the music industry, and I know that owning your masters is a big thing.
I mean, it's like the equity in a property type of thing, or it's like having the actual name.
Now you're speaking my language.
It's like having your name on the actual thing. It's like versus like I own the duplex. Like, you're my artist on my label. You just get to like rent the fucking garage studio and it's temporary. I'm the one making all the like if you're the label and the distributor, you're the one getting paid first. And
damn, I didn't even think about it that way.
I mean, that's why I love Nipsey Hussle, because like Nipsey was like speaking my language. Like R.I.P. bro.
R.I.P. man.
He made such an impact not only in like the L.A. like West Coast, but like people back home. It really resonated with us, like even in Texas, where it just, you know, not only like just a genuine like really powerful rapper, but also like the interviews and just standing on business, as they say, right? The youngsters, but like the confidence of understanding the business of how they would move. And I mean, he was speaking so advanced, like talking about tech and just
that's
the future.
Smart dude right there, bro.
And the way he was just taking you know, from us, it was just very tragic. Because it's like, man, finally we got a dude that's like really spitting the game, like being a real OG, even though he's a young OG, being a real OG, like teaching the youngsters, like, hey, there's a whole business side to this, and some of this stuff's bad for business. Like back home, you know, like Jay Prince, I don't know if you're familiar with him, Jay Prince, Rap A Lot Records. Well, that's one of the people back home that people in the music scene would observe and like laid out the blueprint in your town, where it's like I was a college radio DJ, so I had to go up to Rap A Lot Records a couple times to get some promo materials or what have you, like maybe meet some people and just make connections. But you're like, holy shit, like this is a compound, like this whole building, this whole parking garage structure, like not to mention now he owns the island and he's got the 1,000-acre ranch and the penthouse in River Oaks and all this stuff. But just the compound alone, the facility of like, oh shit. And then like all the rare cars in the parking garage, like like I don't know what that was, Studebaker, Rolls Royce, something or other, like in a plastic bubble with air circulating so that the dust doesn't settle.
What?
Long money, dog.
That's big money, dog. If you're gonna do that for a car, damn, bro.
Yeah.
So he was doing it.
Doing it, yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, for shit show.
Okay, now we go from the music business to the stand-up comedy business. Is there similarities, or is it completely just different? Like
no, there's a lot of similarities. There's a lot of similarities in the art form, in the business. I was so appreciative that I got into stand-up. I was already more mature. I wasn't like in my party mode really like that at all anymore. I was already like settled down, like family man.
Adult vibes.
Adult, you know,
Parent.
responsible,
like
bro.
I have kids.
Yeah,
I have
we
bills.
got exactly.
I respect that.
Yeah, mortgages and shit, all types of shit. So
See, that's adult talk.
yeah,
Mortgages.
yeah,
That's what I'm talking about, dog.
So I appreciated stand-up comedy as like a second chance, where it's kind of like, bro, you just pivoted into this whole other lane right now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's almost like you paid your dues with this other decade of your music stuff, going through the hell gigs and the ups and downs and the P Diddy's and all, you know, just literally like navigating, like you don't even know yourself yet. You still understand yourself as like a man. Like you still don't understand your ego, how impatient you are. Like you haven't even looked in the mirror and did a self-assessment of all your flaws and all your baggage. And, you know, I guess some people call that shit trauma, you know, sometimes. But like you haven't even figured you out, bro. And on top of the business, all these layers of life. And so once I got into stand-up, I was like, oh snap, okay, this is like a breath of fresh air, where like you pivot to where you can reinvent, you can tell your story, you can pick your material. You're not like so boxed in creatively and like I just need a mic and a spotlight. It's not like, fuck man, the DJ missed his flight, or like, fuck, you know, we gotta rearrange the set and the drummer ain't this and they don't have the budget for the keyboard player, so we ain't got the keyboard player. You know what I mean? It's like mucho pedo.
But this is all on you now, huh?
Yeah, and my supporting acts, you know, like my features and the host, and make the whole show complete.
Did you get any type of hate from like the season comics that were like, oh, well, he started with the parodies and this, and now he's venturing into our world. What the fuck?
Yeah, I think
because there's a lot of egos. You said it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think people probably be like, oh, fuck that and this and that. Like, I want to know that.
No, I think we ruffled feathers. I mean, I kind of saw firsthand more like on the lower, like up-and-comer level. I didn't really catch any flack from anybody like big time. It didn't really get to my radar. But, I mean, I get it. I understand because you do have a lot of people that fake the funk and want to just take and aren't bringing value, and there's no, like, bro, you just like, because it is a very limited thing. Like, there's only so many stages. There's only 52 weekends. You know what I mean? Like, there's a shit ton of comics. So the economics of it, I could see why people would get threatened. But once they see, like, you respect the craft, You're humble. You play your position. You're not trying to like bump people. Like,
or step on anybody's toes, right?
I'm up next, man. Chingo Bling in this, man. Tell that motherfucker Chingo here, bitch. You know what I mean? HBO and Netflix. Fuck you, mean? I'm never out to Chingo Bling. You know what I mean? Like,
you didn't tell him, fool.
Motherfucker, I'm Mr. Starter from the board. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you start naming.
You didn't tell him. I'm never to Chingo Bling.
The OG Tamale King is next. So I play my position, stay humble, try to help and contribute, and not, like I share. Like if I can give you some advice, I will. If I can connect you with somebody, I will. Man, you would do great in that venue. Like, it all helps me and it keeps me relevant. Dealing with up and coming artists or
the way it should be,
dealing with other comics, like, because they, like, for example, Ralph Barboza. He was hosting a couple shows for me, and soon thereafter, like, he already had enough shit cooking, and obviously his talent. But it could literally happen like that, where it's like, this little motherfucker was just hosting for me in Oklahoma, and it's like, oh shit, this kid. I come home and I'm on YouTube. It's like, god damn, Ralph, how many views?
Were you like, on Netflix, fucking Ralph?
Yeah, everywhere.
Shit blew up for him, crazy. Huh?
Yeah. He his delivery, his style. The timing.
He has just like some. I don't want to compare him to Dave Chappelle, but he has like some like that. Yeah, bro. Like, what do you think? Like, to me, he has that is kind of dry, and then like boom, a punchline, and like fuck. He's hilarious.
Yeah, he's very talented. His writing. So yeah, very proud of him.
That's dope, bro.
Yeah, good person off the stage. So I always like to play that big homie role, where I'm always like I'm always the big homie that's kind of like, stay hydrated, bro. Get your rest. You know what I mean? Like, hey man, get your rest.
Tómate tu agua, güey.
Sí, güey, yeah.
Hey, pinche electrolytes, güey.
Sí, sodium, hey, magnesium, fool.
Magnesium, güey.
You ain't take your zinc before bed, big dog? You ain't take your zinc before bed, big dog?
I think Chingo's that guy.
I am.
You're kind of like me. Like, hey, no. Like, no way. Hey, you want to drink? But, hey, for you driving? Like, dude, you're my dad? No, I'm not your dad, but I'm not responsible for my mama's way.
Yeah.
That's me.
Yeah. I'm like, I play the position sometimes of like, hey, bro, you know what I'm saying? You're getting that money right now. You're in demand. So make sure you, it could be like.
Buy property.
Invest your shit.
You know what I mean? You ain't going to fucking be doing stand-up forever.
Yeah.
Well, in some cases, like George Lopez and Felipe, and, but be smart. Right,
especially if you're getting that bankroll,
right,
man. If you're getting that bankroll, you gotta make it work for you. Easier said than done, right? But you definitely gotta like flip it, because there might be a pandemic, a lockdown, an injury. Your vocal cords could get fucked up, freak accident,
back pain.
See, way
your family.
Yeah.
Something happens to you.
I just think that's very important, and I'm glad that you're the big homie to them. You have to be. These youngsters sometimes, I mean, speaking for myself, when I was young, I was doing mamadas. And we need somebody to be like, hey, wait, you're making a lot of money, fool.
Yeah.
Do this with it.
Yeah, like.
Do that.
Yeah, your tax shit, like who you got overseeing certain things. I mean, child support issues, like just what do you, everything spiritual, just stay. Willie Barcena gave me good advice.
That's OG right there. What's up, Willie?
Yeah, shout out to Willie. He made he wasn't like giving me advice. He was just kind of like talking, but I soak it up. I think we were backstage in McAllen, Texas, and he was saying like, in entertainment, in show business, he said a lot of times the comics that are like good here and here, like happy, like you're good. He's like, those are the ones that aren't trying to please everybody. They don't got, you gotta love me. I want everybody to love me. He's like, and the ones that are conflicted and they're just at war with themselves and they're just depressed, but they're making all this money because they want everybody to love them, and they're just like
people pleasing, right? Essentially.
Yeah. I mean, there's different ways to interpret it depending on who you're thinking about.
You're right.
But yeah, people pleasers probably a big part. You know what I mean?
And I just think social media be fucking people up too. They have inner demons. Like, okay, who the fuck am I?
Yeah.
Am I gonna be this or am I gonna be that?
Yeah.
And that creates a lot of conflict.
Yeah.
And that creates, I think, like feeling down, feeling depressed because you don't know your identity.
Just being authentic.
Being authentic is the best thing, bro.
Yeah. It's easier to maintain and sustain.
That's why I always say the reason why we're sustaining is because I'm too busy just being me. I ain't trying to be nobody else, dog. I ain't trying to be fucking, there's so many other people out there doing big things, and I'm happy for them. Mm-hmm. And I just think when your mindset is set that way, you're going to reach heights. Like, dog, I'm not busy trying to be somebody else, dog. Mm-hmm. I'm busy trying to be me.
Yeah.
And I think you're right. Everybody should. The ones that have that mindset are the ones that are going to blow up.
And just enjoy the journey and enjoy life.
Be at peace.
Yeah, be happy, be at peace versus like you're just conflicted and, there's something there.
Yeah, I think so. But you could tell. You know which ones are the ones that are like dealing with some shit.
It's a shame. It's like, man, you making all that money, dog.
Man,
let me take some of that stress off you, bro. Let me hold 6 figures.
Like, you making all that money, doing all those pendejadas, way.
Let me hold it for you, dog. And then you know what I'm saying, struggle a little bit. That's what you need, bro.
But they all need a Chingo Bling by their side.
Yeah.
Somebody that's going to tell them they're mamadas.
Take your zanies.
Like, hey, güey. Para con las pendejadas, güey.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not perfect by no means, but I was young and I was out there and I was running around and it's like, okay, all right,
I always say that. Look, dog,
it's gonna catch up.
I'm not sitting here saying I was perfect, dog.
Yeah.
I made tons of mistakes, but I'm telling you, what I'm telling you is coming from a great, it's coming from my heart, like from a great place. Mm-hmm. Like, dog, I'm not telling you just to. Like, no mames, way. Yeah. Like, come on, get it together.
Yeah, just, big homie shit. Like, I'll give you an example, bro. I don't want to be like the nagging old guy. It's like, man, fucking Chingo. But, like, you got the youngsters around, right? Like, for example, shout out to the homie Kim Flores from Chicago. Young guy, blowing up.
It's the homie.
Blowing up in comedy. Well, Kim was performing a whole weekend in Houston at the Improv. And I popped in. I was doing, like, guest spot. I'm just kicking in the green room. And so he's in demand. He's on and off airplanes. He's here. He's there. But he's young, so he's here. But he's at the after party too, and he's out there getting it. So he does like a whole like hour 15, goes and does the meet and greet. So he's still energy. So now he's still taking the pictures. Everybody wants a piece of you. They want pictures. And they want your energy. So finally, he comes back in the green room. He still has another show after this. Right? He still has a whole other show after this, and they're probably going to go out after that. But he comes in after the first show, and we're all in there, like, talking. All the seats are taken. He didn't want my chair. My chair was a little regular, rickety chair. Like, this ain't for you, right? You want that one right there. And I'm like, okay, well, shit. Like, who's going to get up? Because the man of the hour is his show. And I was just like, hey, man, somebody got to get up. Because, shit, Ken's like, no. Like, nah, you good, bro. Like, nah, because he's that humble. Where I'm like, nah, we ain't got time.
This is your show.
I was like, yeah, we ain't got time for that humble shit, bro. I said, look, somebody got to get up. You got to take a load off. I said, because you're in demand. You're on and off of planes. You just did over an hour. You just did meet and greet. You still got to do the same shit again after this. Take the load off your feet, bro. Like, trust me. It was just... I mean, it was just me trying to look out for him, but also telling him and whoever was there, like, tú eres el bueno, güey. Like, eres el gallo, güey. You're the man of the hour. It's your show. And manage your energy. Don't just manage your time. Like, manage your energy, bro. Like, that's chavalón, pero,
That takes... See, to me... That moment shows how you were raised a lot too, because you grew up with the respect, and you read the room, and when you put certain shit to the side and be like, hey, I'm man enough to be like, hey, fool, this is your show, big dog.
Of course, yeah.
I'm gonna get up, and you go ahead and have a seat.
Yeah. Like, no, it wasn't even me. It was somebody else got to get up because my chair wasn't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I had a real weak ass chair.
Nobody said shit.
Well, people were just there and having a convo, and he was insisting, like, no, you're good, because he's showing love to everybody. It's like, somebody got to get up, bro, because it's not sustainable. Like, you're just getting started, and like do the road, don't let the road do you.
Oh shit,
he was
here, right? We sat here for like 2 hours. It was a very intense episode. After he left here, he went to the hospital. Then after that, he lost 100 pounds. So it's like,
he went to the hospital that day.
It makes me happy that he's taking care of his health. But that day he was struggling.
He was hurting.
Yeah, he was hurting.
And he went to the hospital that day?
That day. Right after. Or the next day. Was it the next day?
Yeah, the same day.
And I was like, I gave him my advice. I didn't know if he was going to take it or not, but he lost 100. I mean, I'm not saying I'm responsible for that. That's not what I'm saying.
Shit, show me how I can lose about 10, 15.
Like, damn, fool, now you're going to have to give me advice, fool. I'm trying to lose 20, But the point is that it makes me happy.
Yeah. No, I love that kid, so I want to see him.
That fool is talented, bro.
He murdered in my city, bro. He did such an amazing job. He left it all on the stage. It was like masterful.
I thought he was going to punch me the first time, though. Then we met. I have a story.
You're out of line.
I'm never out of line. I'm so respectful. But he thought I was. So he walks in, and we have an earthquake.
Oh, shit.
And boom, but they didn't feel it.
Oh, okay.
So I walk over there. I'm like, damn, y'all felt that earthquake? He's like, the fuck, fool? And then I'm like, oh.
You thought you were making a joke about her? What's up, Trimmer?
So then we sit down, we start the thing, and then I said, there was really a fucking earthquake. He's like, damn, fool, I thought you were making fat jokes, fool. I was like, damn, fool, I don't even know this, fool, dog. That shit was hilarious.
Oh, man, awkward, yeah.
This episode is brought to you by the JR Group, located in the beautiful city of Downey, California. If you're thinking about buying, selling, investing, or refinancing your property, go ahead and make sure that you connect with us via Instagram. Follow us at JR Jimenez RE. Go ahead and send us a DM and let's connect. You're getting backlash for having your opinion. Since when the fuck is it not okay to have an opinion? And opinion on your beliefs, on what you feel is right for you and your family, right? And people feel that they're entitled to have their opinion, but you're not. So fuck what you're saying, and fuck the orange man, and fuck this, and fuck that. Doc, what happened to just having your opinion, respecting it, and doing what's best for the people?
Yeah, I think that.
You know what I mean? Like,
I think that was before America was being hit with like almost like a psychological operation, like almost like how they would do in like Central America or South American countries where like maybe the CIA or something, they'd go down and be like, all right, they'd be like, all right, I need, I don't know how they would roll, but they'd probably be like, I need 6 million and like 12 dudes, and here's how we're gonna do it. You know what I mean? It's like you're gonna start banging the president's wife. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, I'm gonna buy up the journalists. We're gonna kidnap a journalist. We're gonna scare the competitive politician, and boom, regime change. So we're gonna drop propaganda. We're gonna put out fake news. To where.
So you're telling me they're brainwashing us?
Basically,
it's programming.
Like, yeah. So
dog.
Because it's one thing to say like, Chingo, you have an opinion and other people have different opinions. And why aren't we allowed to have opinions anymore? But I feel like now it's like there's all this conflicting information and, fakes and deep fakes. And they got some shit called cheap fakes and fake quote. And then the news picks and chooses what they cover depending on the network and how they want to frame things. And then social media does their thing. Then you have bots and you have fake fact checkers. So basically it's information war. So you might be looking at things like, hey, these 2 Venezuelan dudes raped and killed a little 12-year-old girl in my city. And they had already gotten picked up, but they got released because they're doing catch and release right now. They're saying like, hey, we got to take everyone, but we can't send them back. We got to kind of house them and put them in. So these dudes were in Houston and they decided to do what they did, right? So now this poor mother and this family is being impacted where they weren't even supposed to be here to begin with. So some people might interpret everything I just said, like my discontent as a citizen, as a father, hearing about this tragic story and just story after story after story. Somebody might misinterpret that as, well, Chingo's a hypocrite. because he was Mr. They Can't Deport Us All. He had this whole campaign, and he's Mr. Started from the Border, and I better not hear another Mexican joke out of your mouth because you've turned your back on your people. It's like, no. I'm just saying that this is tragic what happened. We need to analyze who we're taking and where we're letting them go and what they're allowed to do and what the process is. Like who goes to jail, who gets sent back, who's not allowed to do,
I'm from the era where your actions have consequences, right? So if you're out there doing some shit that you're not supposed to, and you put yourself in that situation where you might get deported or you are gonna deal with the consequences of your actions, then it is what it is.
Yeah, don't be a terrorist over here.
You know what I'm saying? You can't just do some foul shit and then like expect a slap in the hand and like, hey, don't just don't do it again.
Déjalos.
Déjalo, eh?
They want a better life.
I'm like, nah.
It's like, not them two.
And I think I believe in, I don't even think at this point it's left wing, right wing, or Kamala or Trump. I just think it's the agenda is control.
Yeah, there's a lot of power. There's corporations.
And to keep the control, you'll do some foul ass shit.
Yeah. I mean, we literally just saw them take a swipe at Trompito. They tried him. You know what I mean? He turned his head. Oh. He turned his head, and it went pew. And then half the country magically started believing their opinion got assigned to them. So half the country's like, oh, that guy's such a con man that he's willing to fake it and fall down, because he was on wrestling one time, fall down, put blood, go like this, and somehow he was in on it, and it was all staged. Man, she looked fake, dog. And it's like, okay, I'm willing to keep an open mind, but once you start looking into like, it should smell like a setup though, because it's like, how did everything go wrong? Like, how did this little kid get a lot? Anyway, my point is like, if that had happened to anybody else, we'd still be talking about it. Like, we need an investigation. We got to get to the bottom. And you need to come to Congress. We need to talk to you. So who ordered the stand down? Like, why were they not allowed? Like, whose job was it? Who didn't show up to work that day? Why didn't y'all have that meeting? Like, who is in charge of securing this water tower? What's up with this rooftop? And no. We need all the records of what this little boy was up to. Everything this little boy was up to. But because it happened to the one that is the one that's challenging the status quo. So instead it's like, so anyway, moving on. Yeah, and it's like, whoa, this shit just...
That's what happens when you challenge the machine.
Mm-hmm. They're going to try to get rid of you.
And I'm just like, and I'm not even, I would never sit here and try to impose my values on people.
Yeah.
But this is pretty black and white. Like, come on, man. You have to, first of all, this is democracy, right? We're supposed to uphold democracy.
Or at least that's what they say, yeah.
So I think democracy right now is an illusion.
Mm-hmm.
Did you vote for Kamala to be the Democratic nominee? Because I know I didn't.
Yeah, I think I received just as many votes as she did.
You know what I'm saying? Like, did you? Oh, shit. It wasn't optional.
Yeah, I think everybody voted for Joe, right?
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So to me, it's like, okay, if you're going to stand by democracy, then stand by it and give the people, let's elect somebody to be the nominee. Well, you bypassed all that. And nobody thinks there's no problem there.
Yeah.
You just put her there.
It's a fun, like,
it's just crazy.
A lot of times I tend to avoid, like, I'm making an exception for this show. Like, I avoid this. I like learned the hard way to just avoid the subject, because everybody has their opinion, and somehow, some way, like, no les vas a ganar. Like, I'm not trying to tell nobody what, I'm not trying to like clear my name, nothing like that. Yeah. But I think it is entertaining and fascinating to look at it from like a like hold on, bro. So like the Elon looking at me. So you're like, so she had like 1% popularity. Like when it was 20, when Beto O'Rourke, when it was like 20 people trying to be the Democratic, and she was calling Joe racist and all these things, and she dropped out, but then she was VP, but now she's all of a sudden, like, for the media to be like, oh no, we love her, she's great, accomplishments. And it's like, well, didn't she say she was Indian? How dare you question? You're lying about her ethnicity. And it's like,
you know what? That's what I don't like about that party. And I'm like I said, I'm neutral, and everybody, all our audiences, they know this is probably the best place to speak about this. But I just be like, what the fuck just happened? Like, people are very forgetful, and I just think they're the double standard. It's just too double standard-ish. Like, they will do this, and then, like, all of a sudden, they'll contradict themselves. And I'm like, no mames, way. You just said the opposite. Or you said this, X, Y, and Z, and now you had a change of heart.
Yeah. Or they'll be like, Bidenomics is great. It's working. The economy's great. Y'all don't understand these numbers. I don't care what you're feeling in your wallet. The numbers are showing America's bouncing back better in the globe. Like, our inflation is best, like lower. Like, our midget is the tallest midget out of all the midgets. And then she's running now, and she's like, I'm gonna fix the economy. I'm gonna fix the border. And it's like, you're in charge. You're in right now.
And like I said, I am not preaching. I will never be left. That's clear. I said this plenty of times. But I'm more neutral, and I want the best for the people. We're the ones that make this nation a great nation. But it's just like, you gotta see things for what they are.
Yeah.
Don't just get all the policies that she's trying to impose, and then all the policies that Trump is trying to impose, and see what's best. You know, like apples to apples, guys.
Yeah.
Don't go fucking based on what other fucking.
But yeah. Well, here's the thing. And one of the reasons I'm making an exception, like talking about this subject, is because I think it'd be dope for people to imagine for a second how hypnotism works and how illusions work. So like, opinions literally get assigned. You know what I mean? And if you sit back and watch the play that they're running right now, like, you know, in politics, you'll see, like, the use of the production where it's like, oh, this shit look like the BET Awards show right now. Like, oh, they're cutting to Little John. It's like, fuck, they're killing it on the edit, like the live and now, and the lights and you don't know who's a paid actor and who's, you know what I mean? Like, angles, block that off with curtains, and then just to be able to hop on TV and be like, no, they're neck and neck. It's like really close, and you're just like, really, bro? It's like, no, everyone loves this person. It's like 3 weeks ago, y'all said that she was like, y'all couldn't find her, and she's very unpopular. So I think that's the part that I, regardless of, like, for a minute, put away the colors and the labels, because there's really a uniparty. There's really, like, folks on both sides working together to screw all of us, right? And, you know, that's a separate subject. But, like, for a second, ignore the R, ignore the D, ignore the orange man, ignore the lady, ignore all the fucking titles. And because I used to be that person that, like, I see somebody walking in with the red hat, because I let the news assign me an opinion. So I'd be like, man, this person could have wore any hat, and they literally chose to put that on and come in here and cause all this conflict and division, when it's really like, nah, they're just saying they want to make it great. But anyway, if you mute out all the labels and the colors and just kind of peep for a second and just kind of watch the words that the media uses for headlines and watch how they present things, because you could literally just break it down. Like, you could take a headline and just see the words that they use, where it's like, that they might say like, you know, JR podcaster, pressures Chingo Bling, like corners Chingo Bling on his
political views,
or like his bad influence in the green room or whatever. And it's just like, what? It's like, actually, no, they had a conversation, and that was just a weird way that you chose to say pressured and cornered and like all that shit.
Those crafty motherfuckers.
Just to make you look like the bad guy.
But yeah, man, I want people to be critical thinkers out there, you know? Utilize el cerebro.
Seaway. Especially when it come to, like, I mean, it's a lot at stake, you know, economy.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
country.
This is not a healthy economy. I don't care how the fuck they put it.
Yeah.
Bro, inflation. Americans are really, really suffering, bro. Bro, fuck you. You go to McDonald's. or wherever the fuck.
This morning I paid $20 for a burrito asada and agua de horchata.
No mames, güey. $20. Before $20, you could feed a family of 3, dog. Keep it 100, bro. Mm-hmm. I just don't understand how this is. I mean, look, I could really get into it.
Yeah,
but
I mean, if they end up doing price control, like people got to really, really do their homework and don't let them brainwash you into being like a communist. You know, don't let them brainwash you into hating your country. So, like, I think it's important that, you know, your audience just kind of, I mean, just takes it whatever we say with a grain of salt and just understand that someone is influencing your kids at school. The media is influencing your kids. Social media is influencing your kids. You might be influencing your kids, and you know, that's our future. So don't let them brainwash you into like hating your country, hating your neighbor, and fucking.
They're right, and I think we are in the era of being the best parent that you possibly could be, even though. You should, you know, even the past generations are always strive to be the best parent they could possibly be. But in today's world, that needs to be at an all-time high.
Oh yeah.
Like you being a great parent, you know, because they're trying to program and brainwash.
Yeah.
The kids.
Yeah, you got to brainwash them before the world brainwashes them.
So you know what I mean?
Dude, they're trying to like remake math. They're trying to remake everything. Like they're trying to rewrite history. Like a lot of times kids get taught to consider themselves like a victim, see themselves as like a victim, and that everything's rigged against them, especially if you're a minority, if you're a person of color, and then your kid works hard. Your kid works hard based on merit. And then they turn around and say, well, it's not fair that we don't have the bisexual, disabled person that's trans, that's with whatever, you know, we need one of those. So you worked hard for nothing. And then all this stuff they're doing economically where it's like you work hard to save and pay off debt and be a good steward with your money. And then they turn around and be like, nah, free down payment if you're not a citizen, and we're going to pay off your student loans.
I cannot believe that
I paid
shit.
my student loans. I don't get a kickback or nothing, but everybody else.
I had one loan and I paid it off. And I had, did somebody help you with your down payment, dog? Like when you buy your house?
No, nobody gave me some bread for that.
Yeah, no. Not me, dog. I'm like, that's like, yeah, I don't want to dig, but I'm like, I mean, bro, that's crazy to me.
I mean, what it is, bro,
it just spits on everybody else's face.
America has a lot of haters, and they want to see us fall off. So they need to divide us from within. They need to confuse us. They need to make us weak and unfocused. Like back in the day, bro, todos los vatos, bro, like you had to be on your shit. Like just back in the day, it was a matter of survival. Like it was just a different era. Like you had to be the provider and the protector because that's what it says in the Bible. Now it's like, no, you know, it's you could, drink soy, grow a man bun, and if somebody breaks in your house, you don't need a gun. No, the guns are bad. Guns kill people. Man, I'm from Texas, bro. We say come and take it. So the Second Amendment
don't kill people.
The
people
Second
kill
Amendment,
people.
The Second Amendment is there for a reason, and you break into my house, you just broke into Juan Wick's house.
I just posted a video.
Pew, 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 pew.
Call me crazy, dog. I posted a video about raising strong men.
Okay.
I swear that Instagram stopped that shit from going viral, bro. I'm not.
Sounds about right.
I'm not even bullshitting you, dog. It just stopped in its tracks. No views.
Yeah, it's not convenient for them. I mean, you could argue.
And then I posted some shit about chilaquiles today. Boom!
Pow. A comer. Traga. Entertain yourself.
It's not just in my... Bro, I called them like...
Hey, good thing you don't smoke weed, bro.
Bro, if I would smoke weed...
You hanging with Chingo Bling, smoking weed, talking conspiracy,
if you fucking ever smoke me out, I'm going to fucking pull out a fucking... Be like, no way.
Back in marihuanada. No way,
in
neta,
1870...
Here's what they're doing, dog. Fucking...
I just trip out on it, and my message to people is just, just be informed. Don't fall for all the okie dokes, and be a critical thinker. They don't want a bunch of critical thinkers running around, unfortunately. Well,
and I think masculinity is an important thing too. Like I feel like society and movies and TV shows, they kind of muddy the waters to encourage like toxic masculinity is bad, and it's good that, you know, Michael's effeminate. You know, he's in tune with his feminine side, and they just want like confusion and weakness and division.
Well, I think that goes hand in hand with programming, and putting that in everybody's fucking mind that this is wrong. So no.
Yeah, because look, if you want to,
but that creates weak men.
Exactly,
and it goes back to my point where, you know,
yeah,
which translates to just a weak society.
Yeah, because if you want to enslave people, tax them to death, sell them pharmaceutical products, control them, have them working for you, and you just run their shit, you can't have them be up in the morning doing their burpees and, you know, learning some shit like on some like, you know, I guess that gets associated with like certain cultures. But like if you were just really on it and up on game and running your family and your household like with a regimen, with a plan, because it's one of those where it's like, we got a budget. We got to be good stewards of this, because like it's almost like economic war. It's almost like there's currency wars happening where different countries are trying to figure out like, are we going to make the dollar fall off? Are we all going digital currency? Like, are we trading oil off of a different thing? Or what's Russia doing? So there's all this like macro shit. But at the end of the day, like we got to control like our household, make sure the kids are good. And I always tell my kids, like, don't let them try to put some BS in your head. Like you come tell me or you raise your hand, you don't agree. Like boys are boys, girls are girls, and things of that nature. Like don't let them brainwash you.
There's only two genders.
Yeah. Not this 83, 187. You know? But Raza tends to lean left, not knowing that there's so many weird things that the left is pushing that if you really sat down and thought about it, it's like that don't even align with you, bro.
Well, none of those things align with our culture. We were raised to we are religious, we work hard, we're entrepreneurs, we're, you know,
invest,
hard workers, invest.
Yeah.
What does that go?
Go to church.
What does that go hand in hand with?
Sound like Russia. Go to church.
You know what I mean? So I just people have to be smart out there. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm not pushing anything down. Again, I'm not be like, no. Just think for yourself.
Yeah.
Use that. You know, there's so many other things going on in a macro level, but we're not saying, again, just focus on your household.
Yeah.
I pulled my kids from public school.
Yeah.
I told MC Magic that. And he was like, because you're a fucking man, bro. That's what men do. I was like, thank you, OG.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about everything that's going on. And
it's just a bad product.
And I just think that my biggest investment at this point in my life is not properties. It's not real estate. It's my kids, bro. So if I don't like something, yeah, homie, let's go this way. Let's go teach you. I want you to read the Bible.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's part of the regimen.
Do you do homeschool?
No, I put her in Christian school.
Okay.
I had two options: homeschool or Christian school. Those were my only two options. Yeah. So I was like, let's just try this route. You know, my wife is a registered nurse, so trying to make her quit sooner than later. You know what I mean? But let's try that. Now, if that, for whatever reason, doesn't work out, then we'll revisit and be like, hey, no more trabajo.
Hey, I got to get going, so I want to end with this. My wife, she'll sometimes be telling like our babysitter, you know, they're from Mexico, and all her grandkids are in public schools. Like, no, los educan bien bonito y les dan, no, hasta la pandemia les trajeron comida, like the school lunch. Like they're just hooking them up with all. No, sometimes she'll bring gallons of milk. Like, no, es que nos dan bastante. And we're just like, me and my wife are like, man, we don't get nothing but shit. Thank you. Like, you're welcome from the taxpayer, you know. And but anyway, my wife will tell her sometimes like, hey, make sure like these school districts, she'll tell her, these school districts are not all that. Some of these teachers, some of these schools are not all that. Like, really, really stay on top and like make sure they're not teaching them weird shit. And my wife will give them examples give the lady examples of like some of the weird stuff that, you know, not in every classroom, but it does happen sometimes where they just have an agenda and they're activists and they're brainwashing the kids like, you're not supposed to be a Trumper or whatever, right? And the babysitter should be like, ¿a poco? No. She's like, sí, Luisa. Les dicen que es posible que hay 87 géneros. Y, ¿a poco? You know, and she don't believe it. She's like, no te creas. Like, it's not a good product. Like, she's like, sí, los educan bien bonito. And then we have to tell her, like, America's behind. Like, a lot of these kids can't read. They do the No Child Left Behind, and the teachers are overwhelmed. They're under-resourced. They're not the funding, and they're having to pull money out of their pocket for supplies. Meanwhile, we're sending money to Ukraine, but these teachers are having to. You got some other kids. Where you from? They don't even speak English. Okay, they're Somalian. They new here. Okay, you got your new neighbors. Sit by the Venezuelan kids, and meanwhile, your kids right here ready to learn, and it's like, well, we got a behavioral kid. Look, it's just me. We don't have resources for the assistant anymore, and. Okay, I got to call a counselor because this kid's crying, and this kid doesn't have snack because they're poor or their dad's an alcoholic. And meanwhile, your kid's ready to learn, but it's like we can't move on until the Somalian kid that's by the Venezuelans. And
that's a great point. And
it's like it's a microcosm of our country because we already have our own unemployment issues, and we already have our own issues, and you just our housing shortage all of a sudden. It's like we had a whole bunch till y'all opened everything up. And so now, like, I saw it firsthand. My wife and I, we visited Italy a couple years ago, and this is around the time that the European Union started playing their little globalist game of let's flood Italy and these countries with all Africans, like a whole portion of the world pouring in to this little country that at the time already had unemployment issues. Their schools were already kind of like to capacity. So we were like exploring Italy and like doing our adventures and shit and excursions, but also driving and looking and seeing. And we went to Paris. We ain't see really that many French people. We saw all the Indians and everybody selling trinkets, and you're by the fucking tower. But anyway, we're in Italy, and you're seeing the schools and like the people that we knew that lived out there. They're like, yeah, as you can see, and you look, and it's like that looks like all Africans in that school. And it's like, yeah, well, we have a lot of refugees right now, and it's due to the political leaders who usher in this agenda for whatever reason, right? They have their little cartel thing happening, but boom, they flood them in. The locals start getting pissed. I don't know if y'all saw what happened in I think England and Ireland, where they're starting to rise up, where they're like, hey, bro, y'all got all these Muslims and stuff running around, and they got them all in this hotel, and like people started like surrounding the hotel, like getting violent, right? Breaking windows and shit.
No fucking
because they
way.
were pissed that they're like, hey, bro, this ain't even England no more, dog. And now they call them racist. They call them everything. Because it's like, well, you just don't like diversity. And then it's like, nah, bro, it's just, hey, man, we from here, bro. And y'all just, like, for example, I think Elon tweeted like, America's population is only, I forget what it was, like 3%, something of the, whatever it is, of the world. He says, if only 1% of the rest of the world goes in, he's like, that's enough to just collapse our like social systems. Like, I don't know if it's hospitals and just like being able to just tax and sustain, like how in New York, it's like they getting 3 meals a day and hotels and they don't work because it's low skilled labor. Some of these people ain't trained in nothing. So it's like, we'll figure that out, but we got more coming and the hotels are full and okay, oh shit, there's a little bit of crime happening. All right, don't worry. Okay. And it's like the locals are like, hey bro, we dealing with a lot right now. And it's like, hey, stop being racist. Don't be racist because you don't like diversity. It's like, no, I'm a New Yorker, bro, and I like diversity. But like, there's rats, and y'all taxing us, and they're fucking, they run around on scooters, snatching purses, and like, I think I'm gonna move. And then they come to Texas, and then we gotta be like, hey, bro, we don't want no New York shit around here. Like, you know, this Texas, my boy.
I fucking went to Texas, and my Uber driver was like, so you're from California?
We don't want no California shit around here.
I was like, yes, sir. He's like, but like.
What kind of California?
What kind of California?
The good kind that we welcome?
And then I'm like, well, I hope that California turns into a red state. He's like, yeah.
You're one of ours.
Oh, man, I was just like.
It's all it took, bro.
That's all it took? I'm like, he's like, so let me tell you how much we don't like Californians here. Oh, fuck.
Y'all get a bad rap. Y'all get a bad rap. Just because.
Definitely.
Just because, we're getting, it's growing a lot. So, like Houston's fourth largest, but it just keeps expanding. Austin's getting an influx. I think, what it is too is like Texas has a very distinct history and culture, like our own identity. And we used to be our own republic. Like we used to be our own country. And there's a lot of stuff that is uniquely Texan. So when people come in to dilute and be like, nah, we don't like all this gun stuff, and like y'all need to change this, and we need to make it all like that, and
California, my Texas.
Exactly.
And I'm like, fool, we need guns, just in case shit pops off, But I know you gotta go, bro. But what's it called, man? This was. But I don't ever want to get high with you, fool, because we'll fucking come up with.
It'll be real fun. You can't film that one.
Nah, hell no.
Then I'll go real deep, and y'all get to hear like all the real opinions.
Imagine me high, fool. Be like. No, güey, está oliendo verga, güey.
Ahorita te doy la anxiety. Ahorita te doy el surface level. It's puro surface level game. No,
but to me, it's like these conversations need to happen.
They're uncomfortable.
Actually,
they're uncomfortable sometimes.
It's probably the first time we ever had. Yeah. This is the first time on True Hustle that we had. But I just felt that you were the person.
Yeah, you felt safe.
Well, obviously, you know what you're talking about.
Somewhat.
So it made a lot of sense. Yeah, but I just think, at the end of the day, people be smart, do what's best for you, and focus on fucking
uncanceling Chingo Bling. This
guy's a good guy. Hey, who's trying to cancel you, perro?
Shit. Fool's Gone Wild.
Nah, Fool's Gone Wild.
Yeah, they did. I'm blocked on their page and everything.
No way.
Yeah.
Well, they're already kind of transitioning.
Are they?
More towards,
Are they allowed to?
I just think. Look, honestly, I just think that even Democrats are tired.
Well, the ones that like are in the like somewhat like technically a lot of the opinions that you and I expressed throughout the show, like that's like a Democrat from like 10 years ago. Because I mean, I voted for Obama and everything. I've been Democrat my whole life. I was Mr. They can't deport us all.
Well, then bring that up.
And I hated Trump and all
that.
That.
I was a Democrat my whole life.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
But I think we were programmed.
You're kind of by default.
Yeah. So it's not like we knew what the fuck we were doing.
Yeah, it's just teachers.
It's like
and
no. You come from Huntington Park. Yeah. You're poor.
HP.
This is your fucking.
Yeah. They care about the people. All you need to know is the Democrats care about the poor. Moving on.
That's it. And we didn't. Yeah. And I come from immigrant parents, so we didn't know any better.
Of course. Yeah.
Now it's like, come on, we gotta see what's really going on. But at the end of the day, I mean, we can't think for everybody else. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's the hard part.
Stay alert, stay vigilant.
Just stay alert, But I'm gonna ask you this before you go. You have a relationship with Pitbull. Mm-hmm. That guy right there says he has a lot of wisdom.
Oh wow, yeah.
So it's like, what are some of the things that stuck with you from that relationship that you have or had with him?
Yeah. Obviously, like in the beginning, it was like in the trenches, like a lot more like close, in terms of like in proximity, So many things, was always advanced, was always like a step ahead. It's almost like an upperclassman, like you almost felt like you're the 10th grader and this was like the senior, because it's like, man, this was already getting radio play. Like, damn, he signed already. Like, fuck, like he's like the man in Miami. You visit Miami and it's like, oh shit, dude, I didn't know you were that cool with Little John. It's like, wow, I've been working with John. But some of the things stood out. It's like, we'd see each other. I might have some new jewelry or something because I was like a little young punk. And he'd be like, kind of like, probably could be a down payment on something right there. You know what I mean?
Duplex, triplex.
Yeah, and I'm just like, well, in H-Town, man, we like to stunt, baby, But just little stuff like that, very, very, very wise. He came up with the A Way Way song. That hook,
no
that
way.
concept. He's like, man, Chingo, you got to do hey, wait. Just very generous. That's just the main thing that I've always noticed. Like, besides just super shrewd businessman and like like such a hustler and hungry and moves fast and effective and super efficient, like doesn't get bogged down with like social media, like mad, he's just kind of like, I got people to handle that. I'm about to buy this thing real quick, just very wise about stuff like that, man.
That's what's up. I like that guy. I never met him, but I'm like, I don't know, something that guy, this Pitbull guy, Mr. 305, I fucks with him.
Yeah, dude, genuine, generous, like the P Diddy thing, that P Diddy wanted to sign me because of him. Because Pitbull told him, hey, dude, I'm telling you, because Pitbull was tied up into a label at the moment. He couldn't even do nothing. But he was like advising P Diddy, saying like, you need to get with Emilio Estefan. Come to Miami. Like, I'll organize the launch party. Like, I know the radio people. You'll do interviews. He's like, I'll even line up the artists. He's like, there's a kid from Texas named Chingo Bling. Little John wants to sign him right now. If you don't sign him, Little John, he made all that shit up. He made all that shit up, and it worked.
Leverage, but like a motherfucker, dog.
Yeah, sometimes he'd call me, be like, hey, real quick, I just hung up with Capitol Records. I was talking to them about you, and hey, hold on, it's the dude from Sony, but I'm gonna call you back. And he's like, hey man, the dude from Sony. So like, he set up multiple. I didn't sign any of those, so I felt I didn't want to strain our friendship because like, bro, I'm bringing you all this shit, and you ain't jumping on none of it. But he knew because I remember. He knew like they had to come correct. Like there was one particular contract was with a prominent producer who had a label. Again, this is something Pitbull parlayed and put together for me and for them. And when it was, and Pitt walks into the boardroom and there's lawyers and me and everybody, and it's one of those where he's just like, man, this ain't, why you, like, in other words, like, he's not going to sign this. Like, y'all got to come correct. Like, you're wasting everybody's time. Like, like, I'm sorry, Chingo. Like, guys, come on. This is like fucking starter level, entry level. Like, I told y'all what he had going on already. So it was like, okay, at least he won't be mad that I'm not going to sign this.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I like the guy. All right,
Thank you,
question. Last question. I know you got to go. This guy's a busy. He has a show today. All right.
I'm about to go shoot a music video after this, and then
no way.
Yeah.
Fuck. All right.
Yeah.
I know you do your Canelo impressions, right? Are you a boxing fan?
Sí. Everybody, I'm very happy to be involved in this fight. I want to thank my sponsor. I'm gonna fuck you out. Don't talk about my mom. He passed the line. To the piece of shit to my left when he told Oscar the lawyer. Anyway, sorry.
Hold on.
Nosotros somos.
Your top 3 Mexican fighters of all time.
Oh, wow. Okay, top 3 Mexican fighters.
Not Mexican-American.
Yeah, Mexican. Sí, plus. Well, damn. Obviously, Chavez.
Oh, wow.
Abuelita de Batman. You're going to have to put Big Cinnamon in there, Okay. Now, De La Hoya is considered Mexican-American.
Yeah.
Shit, dude. What other famous?
All right. These are my top. These are my top 3.
Manuel. Who you got?
Julio Cesar. My top
JC?
3 Mexican fighters of all time. Julio Cesar Chavez, Salvador Sanchez, and Finito Lopez. And I'm going to give you an extra one. I'm going to squeeze in Canelo in there.
Okay.
Top 4.
Salvador Sanchez. Yeah, I know the name, but I got to really study. He's old school.
You can't argue with that list.
Super OG.
Yeah, super OG. I've been a boxing fan since I was fucking pinche mocoso. I remember fucking watching fucking Julio Cesar Chavez fighting.
I remember that.
When he almost lost and he fucking knocked out
Magic Taylor? Or?
Taylor in the 12th round.
Mm-hmm.
Last 10 was crazy.
Seconds.
Watched it live.
No shit?
Yeah.
Damn, you really were a baby.
Hell yeah. I remember my fucking, all my uncles. But anyways, I know you're a busy dude. Brother, it means a lot to me. You stopped by. It's a Saturday. We had to do a special for Chingo Bling.
Appreciate you, bro.
You know what
Thank
I mean,
you,
my brother?
Hey, we going to get me uncanceled.
Yeah, there you go. And we out, baby. Let's go. Boom.